Hello everybody, it's Kat here and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a video for, well, finally, it's been a while since my last video. Just this week's just been a little bit busier, but here we are with a speed build. So this speed build, well, this house is kind of based on a small kind of complex modern home. There's a whole bunch of these up on the hills kind of where I live. Usually it's like a big line of them and they all look the same. They're all the same color. And I've always really liked the style of them. Never really wanted to live in them though. I just feel like living in a house next door to someone who lives in a house that looks exactly like yours is a little bit weird, but that's just my personal opinion. There's actually nothing wrong with it. But anyway, I do like the style of these houses, so I did base the style off that. Purely just for the outside though, I absolutely have no idea what they look like on the inside, but I do like the style of the outside of the modern kind of home with a little balcony and everything. Anyway, for this house, I did want to keep it quite simplistic. I do like to keep my houses quite simple, as you've probably noticed over the time in my channel. Quite basic colours, some browns or light browns and whites and everything. I do still struggle to make a house in black and white with no other colours. This could actually be quite a fun challenge for me to make a house with just black and white. If you would like to see that challenge, let me know down below though, and it will definitely be something that I will be interested in doing. The layout of this house was quite open plan on the bottom floor. I wanted something quite sleek as well. It's definitely not a family home. This kind of home is definitely more for someone like a young couple or just like a solo person, but the kitchen did end up being quite large. I always have trouble making islands that break out of the bench. I never know which way the corner piece goes and I always struggle. I think I edited out like 4 minutes of this video just trying to figure out which one to put in the corner, and I still don't know. If you know, can you let me know? Because it's always something that I've really struggled with, but I love the way their islands look when they kind of wrap around to create, well, the kitchen looks when it's like an L-shaped kitchen. I've always liked those styles of kitchen. But anyway, moving on. I did want to create that, a good wide, large kitchen. And then just for the dining room, I've just popped a little table in the corner. Most of the time, we'll probably eat on the island or on the kind of bar kind of style, but you know, for the lounge I did want more of a open plan kind of lounge. It is definitely a large area, but I did still want to keep it quite simplistic, and I did keep to a lot of black and whites or greys or neutral tones, but I don't think there's still quite a few wooden tones or like not so piercing white colors that I think as black and white challenge would still be quite hard for me to do, especially when it comes to accessorizing them all. That's when I always like to put the pops of colors in as well. This was definitely a build that I knew I didn't have to change the lights for though, the ones overhanging. I do like to change the lights often. This one I just knew that I didn't have to. I did put a weird statue in the corner, which it fills the space in really nicely, but it's definitely one of those photos that statues that you don't find in every single house. But I did like the way that the lounge turned out. I love the little sleek fireplace and then the TV on top. And I did at the end of the day just decide to move the little hallway thing upstairs because I think the longer one kind of suited better. When it came to the hallway, I did try to start decorating without putting doors in, which does seem to be a thing of mine at the moment, where I don't actually put the doors in until a bit later, which is very interesting, but I did have to remind myself to do that. But the hallway was a little bit of an awkward shape that I didn't really know what to do with all the doors there. I wanted the doors in a specific room, like in a specific place to lead to the rooms, so that furnishing the rooms would go the way that I had it in mind, particularly for the bathroom, and just the hallway was just a bit difficult to kind of keep that layout in place as well. For the bathroom, I did want to keep it quite black and white and simple as well. It is quite a decent sized bathroom, so I was able to fit quite a bit into it as well. But it did take me a while to figure out the right kind of layout for the bathroom. Like, I definitely wanted the tub shower combo. Ideally, I think I would have liked a tub and a shower, and I probably could have fit it in, but I do like adding those little bathroom caddies because they just look good, and it just makes sense to have those in bathrooms for a little bit more storage. Unfortunately, it didn't leave a lot of space for the towels, which was a little bit of a struggle. For this is going to be a study or an office area. I did want to fill that whole back shelf up with bookcases, but it was just a different size to all the bookcases that are in The Sims, and I couldn't find a bookcase that was the right size for it, which was a little bit frustrating. Also, when it came to the desks, I don't really like the modern style desks that they've got in The Sims. I do prefer the kind of like antique style, or just like your typical kind of study desks that they've got in The Sims, but that style doesn't really suit this house. So I did toss and turn about which one I wanted to use, and ended up going for that one there. I did find it interesting that you couldn't put a laptop on anything else than a desk though, because I really wanted them to have two computers, like an actual computer and then a laptop as well. And then a tablet as well, like to keep it quite tech savvy. And it did annoy me a little bit that I couldn't put the laptop on top of like the little shelf there that I've got, and I couldn't even put it on a bedside table or anything. I had to put it on a desk in place of the computer, which for me seems a little bit unrealistic, but we'll move on. I definitely wanted to put a seating area in this area, so I ended up actually putting two, a couch and a small seat, and trying to match the colours of those, which the styles of them are slightly different, but it's the same coloured swatch, which was a bit interesting. And then to just help that out with some plants, and I think the swatch thing kind of annoyed me a little bit, so I just deleted the chair. But anyway, I like this way that the study turned out. I really enjoyed how studious and kind of artsy it ended up being. For the bedroom, I did want this, well, this was a really, really large room for me to furnish actually, but I did want to keep it quite simple because of the, I couldn't really use half of the room because of the sliding doors that I put in, took up the whole wall, and I wanted to keep that area all quite like spacious and free for people to use as well. So I ended up putting another desk in the bedroom so that I could put a laptop in. It seems a little bit weird now when I'm thinking about it, but I just really wanted to put a laptop in, and I don't know, you could have two desks. Maybe one's a bit more for work kind of area and one's a bit more for like your personal kind of stuff. I'm not sure. But anyway, I did like the way that the dresser and the desk kind of fit in, and I ended up quite liking the style of this house actually. The way that it turned out, I was quite happy with. And then just for that back wall, I decided to put some matching paintings, all different swatches. And then I thought the corner needed like a plant or maybe a seat. So I popped an ottoman just there, just to help fill in that little corner where the entrance to the door isn't. And it's the kind of the other side of where the sliding door opens. And then just a rug to help fill in that space. For the balcony, I did want to keep it quite simple. It is a little bit of a weird shape as well. It's not quite big enough to have a lot of seating and tables and stuff, particularly with the doors that are so wide. But I ended up just going for like a little plant in the corner and then just a couch across the side there so that you could sit out and just enjoy the day sort of thing. And just tried to decorate that to kind of give it a little bit more of a kind of interest, I suppose, but that's all it really left room for. So that is the finished house there. I did add a little bit of landscaping out the front, just adding a little pathway, and then I just wanted a few little flowers, and typically I see these ones, they have the flowers in the little flower boxes, so that worked quite well. And then I just chucked a couple of trees and then ended up changing one of the flower boxes. Just kept it quite minimalistic and something that would be quite easy to kind of maintain as well. So that is the finished build there, guys. I love the views that come out of this house. I think they're really, really beautiful. But I'm quite happy with how this house turned out, actually. It's not, well, I would say it's not my typical style. I think I do prefer cottage styles, but this was a really fun modern build to do. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already as well. I do hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.